among the things that you're asking your partners and your members to do. One is, let's take stock, let's understand everything, the rules, what's being followed, what's not being followed, and so on. Second, look inwards. Ask yourself or do an audit of what are we already doing within our own organizations. Step 3 is look at the other organizations and tell each other, hey, I'm doing this, you're doing that pala. We should be working together, and so on. Once you have the private sector getting its act together, then we're ready to work with government, another stakeholder, if not the most important one. We work with government. Once we're working with government, we start reporting to the public and having the public interact and also being transparent with the public in everything that's going on. Hopefully there's some incentives and disincentives that come out of that.
I'll just add 2 things,
Yes.
right? In working with the government, we cannot do everything, correct? So we must prioritize and agree with the government what we'll do. Otherwise, we'll be spread out. And finally, there's something called water basin, which is used in the whole world. All right? We have 418. And yet each basin has got less than 1 million pesos a year. That's totally ridiculous, right? But I talked to Senator Villar. I said, my God, I don't know why Congress are doing this to these guys. Maybe you don't understand what's happening. And she said, the budget is finished, but I can, with my oversight power, get what each basin needs. And they need at least 5
water
people.
basin? What does that refer
I'll
to?
tell you what a
Is that a
water basin
watershed or is that a different thing altogether?
It's an approach in the world. They call it a water basin approach, where you have a basin which gets the water. It comes from rivers.
Okay.
They say it comes from the forests and the rivers. And all. It's a systemic view, right? And then you can prioritize. That's what the business thing will come in, prioritization, right? And then you can see the main problems, and then you can do it. And in fact, these 18 have master plans, right? And they were done with foreign-assisted expertise. Which means they're good, right? But all of them tell me, less than 1 million, what can we do? You know, it's a bloody farce, right? Okay? And that's why my Exhibit A is this lady who won towns and she won 10 outside Philippines. She knows exactly what's needed, right? And so I'm just saying that as we work in government, first of all, we work on the 7 areas. There are 7 summits, 7 books, right? Then we talk to the people there, not the clerks, not the secretary who may not be involved, but the real people, and prioritize, and then focus the areas, right? Okay? Those areas are really the 18 river basins. And given that, you don't do everything. You know, my problem when I was in government is that they kind of want to do everything. I mean, you should really have priorities. That's what business has, which government should have more of. Right? Yeah. And then measure. They don't measure and measure. And then criticize and improve, right? Because when I was in government, you know, we just do what we want and all that. And, you know, life goes on. Everybody is secure in their jobs. Some are promoted because of connections. You know, they're kind of like that. But government can be very efficient. You know, Singapore is efficient. Australia is efficient, etc. I was also actually the UNCTAD head of Asia. I saw all the countries, right? I lived 18 years. I lived towards my life abroad, right? Okay. So because I had warrant for arrest for subversion, because I was fighting martial law, but there's not the communists. I saw what was happening. And I see the people in the Philippines are really, really good. And all we need to do is just harness them properly. Once you do that, you're fine. And that's what the movement wants to do. We want to harness things properly.